All right, let's bring her in. She's the senior features TV editor for Variety. She's a multi-time guest on this show. She was at the Dancing with the Stars taping this past Monday, something we're definitely going to dive into. It's Emily Longeretta. Emily, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on.
So good to see you. I always love coming on.
Okay, so the funny thing is here, we are going to talk about literally only 2 shows. And then we're going to dive into a segment that I call Emily's Travels, of things you've done in the last 6 months that I want to talk about, because sometimes I wish I had your life and where you've gotten to go the last 6 months. So, all right, let's start off with Dance with the Stars from Monday night. Yeah. You were there, and Lauren from Fifth Harmony got eliminated. She made it known right when they put a microphone in her face. She was pissed. I'm assuming you got to speak to them afterwards, right?
I did not. So I will say,
were you just there as a guest? Or were you there reporting?
Both. I do both. I write the story right from the ballroom as I'm sitting in there, and then I talk to people afterward. Sometimes I talk to everyone. Sometimes I talk to a few people. I hung around for a bit, and she was not doing interviews, and I think she was not happy, which I understand. I do think she did come out eventually and do interviews, but I don't wait that long just because it's not something we really would need to cover. I did see she ended up talking to a few people. So, but understandably, we were all shocked. The room was completely silent. It was insane. It was like the last thing anyone expected.
What was the vibe in the room? Just shocked? Were people like... Was it quiet because they were like, I can't believe she's gone? Were a lot of people
also looking at her? It was like, you're really sad. You're really bummed because the Fifth Harmony girls are also in the room. And
they were. Okay.
Yeah, so this was the first time they all came. She danced to her own song. It was like such a great night for her. And it was just such a bummer. And I love Andy Richter so much. I love Elaine Hendricks. This is a great group, but she's a great dancer. So it's a bummer. I think people were a little bit angry. I mean, we see this often on Dancing with the Stars. I've been covering it for over a decade now. And I've gone all 3 weeks this year and so far. And it's a really fun vibe and everyone really likes each other. So it's like, oh, this is going to be sad each week when someone goes home.
Was everybody from Fifth Harmony there except Camila Cabello?
Of course, yes. I don't consider her as from Fifth Harmony now. It doesn't even, because they don't really, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Lauren even took a shot at her in one of her red carpet interviews or maybe post-dance interviews and basically said everyone was here. Oh, except for one. And
yeah, she said like all the girls reached out. Well, like the 4.
Yeah. Okay, we get it. Yeah,
we get it. It's fine.
Camilla's moved on. It's okay. It's Fourth Harmony now. But of the ones you've watched or spoken to this season, which is, I don't know, surprised you in the most in terms of either their dancing or necessarily their story? Maybe you didn't know, something you've learned by talking to them and doing stories on the show. Which one has kind of surprised you?
Honestly, Andy Richter probably surprised me the most, because going in, when you look at the cast announcement, we all do this every year. We see the cast announcement. And it's like, all right, you see the person who's not going to be good. You see the person who's probably going to go home first or second. And it was Andy easily. And even the first week, but his personality to me, it becomes the way he is on the show, on the floor, but also in his packages, talking to audience members, taking photos with people. I mean, just could not be a more pleasant guy. And I compare it, and this is nothing against Hilaria Baldwin. I don't know her at all. We've never chatted with her, but it's almost there in the exact opposite boats, where her talent level is insane, but her personality doesn't shine, and it doesn't make her stand out at all. Whereas he can't dance. He knows that, but his personality, it's so hard. It's impossible not to love that man. So I would say that. I'm also very impressed with Danielle Fishel, who is a friend of mine, but also had no dance experience, doesn't have like a dancer's body. I say that, in quotes, that a lot of these women this season do. And she's really learning the moves, and I'm really impressed with that. I'm always impressed when someone really learns the technique.
Well, that's right. I totally forgot. Well, you and I have talked about this in the past, that your love for Boy Meets World.
I love it so much.
So seeing Danielle on the show, I totally, not until you mentioned it, was like, oh yeah, that's right. Emily and I have talked about Boy Meets World in the past. And Danielle is great. And I think she has a really good shot. If they take 5 to the finals, I gotta think that she is there. I know if you follow Bachelor Data on Instagram, Danielle was number 2 after week 1 in terms of Instagram and TikTok growth, which is what she tracks, Danielle. And that's obviously a huge part of whether or not you're staying on the show. I glanced at it. I saw that Robert was number 1, which he's probably going to be number 1 every week.
Yes.
I saw that Danielle was number 2, and I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look at Ilaria's, but I'm guessing she's at the bottom. Like nobody's.
I don't think people even thought about it going in of like, it's so interesting because this show has changed so much with how much social media, like you can't even go on TikTok now without seeing the show like flooding feeds because it is every single dancer is being told to post. All the pros are being told to post. That's a huge part of where the voters come from now. So that's where young voters are watching the show almost fully on TikTok.
And they just, I want to say what in the last 2-3 seasons is where it's become like literally a TikTok show. And then not to mention the numbers for this season, ratings wise, are way up. The votes are, according to them, blowing every other season out of the water in terms of how many votes they're getting. And it's a testament to the show because very few times, as we're seeing the decline in the Bachelor franchise with ratings, this show is in season, what is this, 34?
34, yeah.
34. And the ratings, they're getting some of the best ratings they've had since, I'm not counting the early days when they got really big ratings because there was
when TV was different.
There was no streaming. Yeah, when the TV was different. There was no streaming. But to raise your ratings in season 34 to get the most votes you've ever been getting for a voting type show, this is
21 million votes. The premiere, 21 million, like 1 million people were taking out their phones and voting. Like that just seems wild to me. And the premiere, I think the viewership was 5 times, or it was up 163% for voters. And then hasn't been as, the ratings were as high as they were since before COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's like, I think it was the first show after Tom Bergeron left was the last time it was that big because people were like, how are they going to do this without him? So it's really impressive to see.
Well, I also think that this is something where I think they said when they announced 21 million people voted in the premiere episode, last year's premiere, they had 8 million. So like that is 1.5 times of what you had. And it's just like, why? And, there could be a multitude of factors, but, outside of Andy Richter and Ilaria, it seems like Elaine is actually, I don't even know how old Elaine is. She's got to be in her 40s, right? Maybe even 50s. But it just seems like they are going for a younger crowd with first off, Monday night's theme was a TikTok theme. Just to think that TikTok is a theme on Dancing with the Stars now is kind of funny to think about. And then you've got the 2 women from Mormon Housewives who have got tons of followers, who built their fame on TikTok.
Yep.
It's just, this is huge for the franchise. And it's like, I almost think like this franchise probably could go back to twice a year. I don't know if they will, but I think it's tough for them in the spring to do it. But I don't think it would be oversaturation if they went back to twice a year.
I don't think so at all. And I honestly think one of the big changes I think is a couple of years ago, it was almost like, I don't want to say washed up, but actors who wanted like another life or needed a paycheck or went on for that reason. We saw these people who hadn't been famous in years going on. And now people are going on. The Mormon wives have never been more famous and they're going on. And they're just people that are going on that are still at the heights of their career, where this is like a boost to a other career, which is so interesting to me.
I feel like we're going to get a Mormon wife, at least one, every season going forward. They're just going to pluck them, just like we have an Olympic person every year, usually someone from the Bachelor franchise every year. We don't this year. An older generational person like Andy, an NBA player. Like we know what they cast every year.
A 90s star. There's always like someone that fills in each of the shoes. But it looks like Mormon wives. I think everyone's going all in on Mormon wives, obviously, with Taylor News too. So it's like they're just going to use them to, take over the world.
So we talk about the Instagram growth and the TikTok growth. And like I said, Robert was number 1. I'm sure you've heard the scuttlebutt already that online there is a groundswell to make Robert Irwin the next Bachelor. And I don't know, because ABC hasn't. The only thing we know is Taylor Frankie Paul starts filming in a couple weeks. They still haven't even said the premiere date. I'm assuming it's going to take the place of when The Bachelor airs, which is last Monday in January through March. Yeah. But they haven't said like, okay, we swapped out Bachelor for Bachelorette in that January to March time slot.
Right.
But is Bachelor going to be a thing in 2026? Are they going to wait a year? Is Taylor Frankie Paul going to be a one-off in terms of, you know what, after 30 seasons in a row of casting someone from a previous season, we're just going to go the celebrity route now, and this is going to be what they are going forward. If that's the case, Taylor Frankie Paul has 1.7 million followers. Robert Irwin has 8 million followers. So he would be the guy to go with. I don't care that he's going to be 22 in February and be like,
so young.
Yeah.
That's my fear, is like Bachelor Nation has been going so hard into, obviously with Golden Bachelor, much older, but also like the complaint was so long, was like, please get older people who actually take this seriously. Not that Robert wouldn't take it seriously, but then you're having, that gets into sticky waters to me. I love Robert. I would love to see him on there, but that to me is like, then we're going back to like 20-year-olds on Bachelor. I don't want to see that.
I think the thing would be that they've basically, I guess the Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise that you and I have watched all over these years, I think they basically said, we're done with that by casting Taylor Frankie Paul. They clearly just going for, we want somebody who's got a ton of followers because we know they're going to watch. Because for the last few seasons, casting somebody, nothing against Jen Tran, nothing against Grant Ellis, but they didn't move the needle at all. Right. They were people that were on the show, and you watch their journey and you like to see it, but honestly, they didn't move the needle and the ratings didn't move. Now they're just like, screw it. We're going to get somebody that has 1.7 million followers on Instagram, who's huge on TikTok. Let's see how she does. And I think it's almost impossible if Taylor Frankie Paul doesn't get, it's not going to be Boffo ratings, but it'll be better than
it's going to be big. I'm sure there's going to be a headline like, probably Variety will write like biggest ratings in X amount of years, because I 100% agree with that. Even people who haven't watched Mormon Wives, they're going to tune in because they're curious. It's like, who's this girl that everyone's talking about who's on Mom Talk, who also has a bunch of controversy? We usually see that in recent years, especially since 2020, Bachelor tries to go away from the controversy. Taylor has a domestic violence thing in her record, and she has 3 children with 2 different men, which, again, not judging at all. I'm just saying, like, Bachelor usually stays away from that. So I think people are curious what this looks like.
Yeah. And it seems like, knowing that 3 kids from 2 different men, the fact that she has already said, I can't leave Utah. Right, whoever I pick, got to come to me. Let's not to mention,
have to be willing to make TikToks all the time.
Have to be willing to make TikToks, not to mention totally into soft swinging. Like, this is not that's what I'm saying. This is not the Bachelor and the Bachelorette franchise that we grew up with.
No, it's not. This isn't your grandma's Bachelor, which I guess that's what Golden Bachelor is for. So I guess we can have both worlds here. I'm thrilled. As someone who binged Mormon Wives in like a weekend, I'm so happy that this will be, maybe it will like revise the franchise. I guess if we're saying that, I don't think it was ever going to be, it wasn't dead, but it definitely was slowing down. And I say this all the time, TV's changing so fast and furious that like whatever we can do to keep broadcast above the water. I mean, I'm thrilled with that.
And that's why I think Robert wouldn't be out of the question, because again, not saying that Robert wouldn't take it seriously, but anybody who complains that, come on, a 22-year-old, like, he doesn't need to, he's still young. Let him sow his wild oats. He doesn't need to find a wife at 22. It's just like, okay, but I'm sorry. Again, I would tell that person, the Bachelor franchise that you knew, that you wanted to see, it's gone. I don't think they care. I mean, honestly, you're asking a lot, and we don't know who the men are yet on Taylor Frankie Paul's season.
Right.
But you're asking a lot of them to be like, not only do you have to move to Utah, but you have to be with a woman who's got 3 kids from 2 different men. There's custody issues involved in that. Like, that is so much to ask. And I just, like, to me, this season is kind of a joke. Am I going to cover it? Of course. Am I going to put the spoilers out? Of course. But I don't really think that there is this groundswell of, we got to find Taylor Frankie Paul a man, and I hope she finds one based on a casting department finding one.
It's so interesting, because I do feel like there's also this realism and this realistic take on this, that it almost feels like The Bachelor and Bachelorette for so long have been like, here's this perfect woman and here's all these men going for her. Taylor's a real person who has baggage and who has a life that, yeah, if you're going to fall in love, it's got to be, they're going to be accepting of all of that. Can that happen on The Bachelor? I don't know, but I'm excited to watch.
And I think with these men, I mean, just like any season, you're questioning the men's motives. But we also know that in past seasons, no matter who the Bachelorette was or who the Bachelor was, a lot of times the contestants who are going on the show literally don't know who the lead is until they get to LA and they're sequestered and they're waiting to arrive at the mansion.
This is very different.
They're going to have a month. They all know. So everybody going in is just like, okay, this is what I want. It's just going to be hard for me to believe that these 25 men or 30 men, however many they give her, are all there because they're like, yes, want to move to Utah, want to be a stepdad to 3 kids with 2 different other dads in the picture. I'm not buying it at all.
No, it's really hard. And we go back to it. It's really hard to see them there for the right reasons. We've been saying this for years. It used to be like, they want followers. Well, it's not going to be where some Bachelor seasons, the winner gets picked and then we never hear from them again. That's not going to be the case with this season because this person is going to be on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, no, he's going to be a TikTok husband.
He could be on Dancing with the Stars next season.
Yeah, exactly. Right, the two of them. Like, she will be. I talked about that. 100%. I just thought about that. She's going to be on Dance with the Stars next season. Totally.
100%. I mean, because Whitney's probably going to go very far, if not final.
Oh yeah, she's final. Yeah. She's in the finals, if not final 2. I mean, just looking at it now, it seems like Whitney and Robert are your final 2 for.
I would 100% agree. Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to Survivor. I want to talk Survivor with you because you did some press for Survivor. And have you ever gone out? I've never asked you this. Have you ever gone out with the other press to be there for the beginning?
No, so I never have. Every time I've been, when I was at Us Weekly, we had someone on staff, Mara, who has been covering it for them for years. So it was her beat. I covered the show, but she always went out with the group. At Variety, we don't do group set visits, so it wouldn't be something I wouldn't go out there with other reporters. But I went out for 50. So I did a solo trip. I can't really say much, just that I was there later on in the competition. So did you do it on Variety's dime? It sounded like what you just told me sounded like you just went out because you felt like it. But this was a Fiji. No, I covered this season. I went out to cover. Yeah, I'm doing a story on something they're doing with 50, and obviously 50 is going to be a big season for everyone watching, and for them, for CBS, and hopefully for like Emmy's push, which is of course I do so much with Emmy. So yeah, we're doing a bigger feature at that. So I got to go out there for a couple of days, and it was quite an adventure. So much fun. I was gonna say that sounds. So you didn't get to like compete in the comps like some of the people that got there at the beginning of the season that did their. No, and to be honest, I've had the offer of like, do you want to sleep outside for the night? I'm like, I'm okay.
No.
I'll take the hotel. I'm fine.
So obviously we're recording this before episode 2 of Survivor airs. And the premiere last week was 2 hours. It was good. We, I'm aware of the 2 people from 49 that are on 50. You could see after watching episode 1 why they are on 50. I have no idea about spoilers for 50. I don't want to know. I have no idea how long they last. But I've always found this show super, super interesting because it's always been my favorite reality show. And yet I wouldn't, kind of like you, like I wouldn't sleep outside in my backyard in 75-degree weather on a mattress, let alone sleeping in conditions like that. So as much as I love this show, zero interest would ever participate in something like this. Ever.
I think there's so many thousands of people who want to that I'm like, more power to them.
Yeah,
I have no do it. I will be watching for sure.
Yeah,
but
be my guest. No, thank you. Mm-hmm. And another thing that I saw that and I wanted to ask you about this. You put this on your Instagram. You've moved 3 times in the last 3 years. What happened?
I'm really picky.
Oh, it's just okay. It was just that.
No. So I moved to LA and I had a very fast need to move weekend to come find a place. And I didn't know the neighborhoods. I've been to LA so many times over the last 10 years, but I wasn't like looking for, there's a lot of neighborhoods. I don't know where to live and I don't know what areas what. So I moved immediately close to my office on the west side and then quickly realized, one, I didn't like the building I was in, but two, I was like, oh, all my friends are on the east side and no one wants to sit in traffic. And so I found a place on the east side after a year, after my first year lease. I moved to my dream apartment. I was obsessed with this building. I still am obsessed with it. I wish I could have stayed there, but I didn't realize that I was extremely overpaying. And to be honest, if I was there all the time and if I was working from home, if I didn't travel, I would probably in my mind convince myself it was worth it. But with last year, the amount that I was traveling, and now we're back in the office 4 days a week, and I'm never home. Like I foster animals and I haven't fostered in over a year because I'm never home. So I was like, it's really silly for me to be spending this kind of money. So found a less expensive place a couple months ago.
Okay. So you've been in your new place only a couple months now.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, I thought that's really interesting because when I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, I didn't realize she had moved. Yeah. And one of those 3 moves was your move to California. How many years have you been there now?
Yeah. 2022, almost 4 years. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you've been there 3, almost 4 years.
Yeah.
And I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast that we were going to cover some of Emily's travels. I want to go back to April.
Okay.
I actually messaged you during this particular travel.
Okay.
Remember, you were at Wrestlemania, and I was like, I can't believe you're at Wrestlemania. You're in Las Vegas, and you went to Wrestlemania, and I was like, wait, Emily's a wrestling fan? Like this is. I mean, I've been watching wrestling since I was 6 years old, or sixth grade. Mm-hmm. Sixth grade. And I've watched WWE ever since. Like I still watch it to this day. I watch Raw and SmackDown every week. I don't watch it live anymore. And a lot of the times I do a lot of fast forwarding, but I just like to keep up.
It's like 4 hours long. It's so long. Who can watch it live?
WrestleMania is a joke of I've got issues with the length of the show, the fact they're going to 2 nights. The ticket prices are just it's a joke now because I used to go to those events when I was living in Southern California. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, I would go with my friends, and the tickets were like $15 or $20. WrestleMania, it's literally like $700 to sit up in the nosebleeds now.
Is it really? I honestly don't know.
Yeah, no, wow. It's so what. And WrestleMania, I don't know if you know, 41. Oh wait, you went to 41. 42 is coming back to Allegiant. Yeah. It was supposed to be in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Something fell through with New Orleans, and they're going back to Allegiant this year. And they've put some of the prices up online. It's a joke. Like the 400 section, all the way up at the top. One night, you're not getting less than $700 or $750.
You can't. And hotels have now are insane everywhere. Yeah. So I mean, it really is. That's really crazy. I didn't realize they were that expensive. That's wild.
But you didn't go because you're a wrestling fan. You went because a friend invited you, right?
No, I am a fan. So I grew up watching Triple H, and I had the biggest crush on Triple H. Yeah. So I was thought he was the cutest thing in the world. Now I'm like, that's a little problematic, but here we are. In my last long-term relationship, before
he watched it. He got you into it.
Die hard. Okay. So I started watching, and of course, I think there's this stigma like, oh, wrestling, blah, blah. Anyone who's into storytelling, there are such good stories that it's easy to get sucked in.
Yeah.
So yes, I got sucked in. I was not watching every week, but he recorded every week. So I watched a lot of the, fast forwarding through certain stories. He would tell me. So we went to a bunch of stuff. I went to WrestleMania when it was in New York a couple of years before, and did the whole weekend of events, did a ton of interviews. I had interviewed, and it was when the Bellas show was on, and I had covered that. So there was a lot of that. I'd spent so much time with them at that point. And then when the John Cena breakup happened, I was in the thick of that. So there was a lot of like WWE stuff throughout my life. So I've been friends with some of the people who work for WWE, all of that. And then my ex and I stayed very close friends. He still lives in New York. I'm here. And so we started talking about WrestleMania this year, and it does so well for us. And there's so much like it does so well for the internet that I was like, I'm going to go cover. And so he was like, if you can get us tickets, I'll cover hotel if you want me to, if I can go with you. And I was like, great, let's go. You just have to help me do some reporting. So we went for the weekend and we covered all the events, and I wrote it up, and work was like, you know this stuff? And it was very cute. It was very funny. I had a blast. I had so much fun. And Danielle Fishel and Will Friedle and Ryder Strong were there playing craps. They went to WrestleMania for the first, so I got to catch up with them at the at the hotel. It was a fun weekend. It was a blast.
Yeah, the fact that you got to go to WrestleMania on the company dime that's pretty cool, because the tickets, especially where you were sitting, those tickets. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you were on the floor, but you were in the 100 section, right? Like
yeah. It was like 730 from up.
Yeah, lower bowl is like $1,500 to $2,000 a ticket.
Yeah, my ex was like, "What? This is where we're sitting." He also went to NXT during the weekend. He had to like get up super early one of the days, and I was like, "I'm not getting you tickets for that. I'm not going to that. I'm sleeping in." Like, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that you got to go is really cool. Are you going to go this year now that it's back in Vegas? Are you going to go this year?
I probably I might as well.
Can I?
You want to go?
I'm literally throwing my hat in the ring because I'm not paying to go.
Totally.
I'm not going to buy a ticket to that, but
yeah, it's just
I will do any coverage you need. I would absolutely 1,000% go if you need someone to go.
Oh my gosh, I'll let you know.
I will go. But yeah, I've been covering it or watching it obviously since 6th grade, and to see, I mean, shit, I don't know if you saw this today. You probably didn't. John Cena's retirement match is happening December 13th in DC. They've posted let me pull it up on my phone here. They have posted the ticket prices for that event. Saturday Night Main Event, December 13th in Washington, DC. Ringside package, row 1, $11,500. Second row, row B, $9,500. Fifth row, $6,500.
Who is paying this? Who is paying this?
Now they also have the champion package, which includes. Oh, I guess this is the champion package, and it's just row A, row B, and row E. But you get floor seating, a photo op with Cena, a Cena exclusive gift, a ringside photo op, premium reserve seating at Undertaker's live show the night before. So
here's the thing: the photo ops are really expensive. So I guess that is nice to throw that in there. If you're going to pay for photo ops, again, the ex was also a big photo op person, like paid for a lot of them, and was always surprised when I was like, I don't need a photo. I mean, I went to the Dawson's Creek reunion and I didn't pay for the photo op because I was like, I'm not spending that kind of money. I got to draw the line somewhere.
Is that
the reason?
And that's just one photo, right? It's not like you get to do any sort of, can only imagine what that is. So WrestleMania 42 in Vegas. I'm just saying, keep me in mind because I would do that. Is it
Thanksgiving again? Is it Thanksgiving weekend again?
Thanksgiving weekend.
That was No, WrestleMania was Thanksgiving or Easter.
WrestleMania is April. Yeah,
Easter.
It was April.
Sorry, Easter.
Yeah, it'll be in April again. I think the dates are. They have the date. What was it? 42 next year, right? WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
It was probably. So I went from there. I went home for a couple of days and then went to Stagecoach. So I think it's the same. It's like back-to-back weekends.
It is Saturday, April 18th and Sunday, April 19th. That's for 42 this year. Okay. The other thing I wanted to discuss with you was, let me pull it up. Another Vegas thing, and this was a couple months ago. You got to go back to Vegas.
Yeah.
You saw Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. Was that a work thing or was that a fun pleasure trip?
That was a fun trip. One of my close friends is AJ's publicist, has been for 15 years.
Okay.
So she had already gone to the show multiple times, but was like, I really want to go back. And my friends are sick of going. Do you want to come? And I was like, yes, let's split a hotel room and do it. Cause I was like, I'm going to go anyways. I just need to figure out what weekend. So she was like, want to split a hotel room, do like the friends and family suite beforehand. It was I got COVID, but it's fine. My first time getting COVID. But I was like, if I get it from a Backstreet Boy, it's totally fine.
From a Backstreet Boy or just going to the concert?
I believe I got it from a Backstreet Boy.
Really?
Well, I was in the friends and family suite beforehand, and I'm pretty sure one of them had it. And this came, I just don't want to say because I don't want to like be like a HIPAA. But yes, I'm pretty sure one of them ended up testing positive, and then I tested positive, and I was like.
So what's funny, because I was there a month ago and I got back. I always just get sick in Vegas because of the air and
the smoke.
I had a sore throat, and because I always stay at the Venetian. That's the place I stay. So I always stay there, and as much as I love that place, I just always, especially if I'm there for a good 4 days, which I was this year, I came back with sore throat, turned into a runny nose, and then a bad cough. And, I had my COVID test, those free tests that they used to send to us. I still had some, and I tested myself. I didn't have it, but I was laid up for a good week.
Yeah, I was supposed to moderate at Comic-Con, and I took the train to Comic-Con and felt okay. It's in San Diego. And I got there and was like, I got to lay down. And I woke up and I was like, I have COVID. I know it. And I took a test in the hotel room and was like, and I got right back on the train, went home like the same day. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. No, but had you ever been to the Sphere before that?
I had not. No, my first time. I was nervous because I get a little motion sickness. So I was a little bit nervous, but I didn't at all.
I have not seen a concert there. I've seen their Postcards from Earth, which has now been replaced by Wizard of Oz show that airs like 3 times a day. I did see that. So I've been there, and it's more about, the screen, the acoustics. I just, that place is unbelievable. But like I said, I have not seen a concert there. So how was the experience of seeing a live musical act there?
It was incredible. The way the production was insane. I think from what I've been told from people who sat in different sections that there are no bad seats because the screens are so amazing that you can look, you're obviously looking down at them, but even if you're close, you're looking up at the screen too. You want to watch both. So it's a bit of that. I would say the floor would be like the worst place to sit.
I was going to say that the bad seats are either standing in front of the band or the 100 section, because the screen isn't just a giant screen behind them. Obviously as in a Sphere, it curves up. So you literally are craning your neck if you're sitting in the 100 section. I watched Postcard from Earth in the 300 section and it was perfect. I didn't have to go like this. So loved it.
Yeah, because we were offered like bleachers, like front row, like bleachers standing, and then the friends and family section in the audience, which I can't remember. I think it may have been 200. It may have been one something, but it was up further. And I was like, I don't want to be on the floor. Like, no, I don't want to. I'd rather sit in the seats. And I was so thrilled with the seats. Oh my gosh, it was incredible. Like, I'll go back probably. I might go for New Year's.
I was going to say they're there for New Year's. I think I saw that they're there in February as well. So that's it was a good concert.
Yeah, it was great. It's just everything in Vegas is getting so much more expensive. I feel like it used to be 10 years ago so cheap to go to Vegas, and now it's just not at all that way. And I'm like, oh, I'm just dropping money on hotels there. Like, it is not cheap at all.
Yeah, it is. They are pricing out the tourists now. They are basically they're appealing to what they call whales or the elite, where I don't think they care about the average tourist anymore, because what they charge for literally everything. I mean, you just have to, I mean, I've been going for 30 years. Like, I went to college in Southern California. We used to drive out on a Friday night, play blackjack, sleep in our car, and drive home. And that's when you could get a hotel room for $39 there. But now it is just, I mean, I only stay at Venetian, but I also have a casino host there, and I'm lucky enough to not have to pay for hotel rooms, but I'm very well aware of how much they cost there. And did you stay at Venetian when you went to the?
I did not. No, I don't. I stayed at the Paris this time.
Stayed at Paris. Okay.
Did they just?
Which is a nice hotel. Which is a nice hotel.
Totally. And I know me in Vegas, I'm not going to be at the hotel, so like I don't care. I was like, I just need a clean place to sleep and shower.
Well, final thing we got to talk about, something we talk about every time you're on, and obviously this is a big one because you have always talked about your love for Dawson's Creek. I've always told you about my love for Dawson's Creek. And you got to attend the F Cancer benefit for James in New York last Monday night. You know, it was interesting. The night before is when he put out the Instagram post saying he could not make it because he had gotten, beaten down by 2 stomach viruses. And, the next day on my podcast, I was like, man, and I even saw some people online saying they got to postpone this. Like, this is he's got to be a part of this. It's for him. And I understand he's obviously sick. And I was like, man, can't they postpone this? But then after it went off and I saw his message, I was like, they probably couldn't logistically get it. Like, this was a thing where everybody had to have their schedules together. Because if I'm not mistaken, they've done many reunions here and there, but this is the first time that everybody from the cast has been together for an event, right?
This is the first time ever because a lot of those people weren't in season 1 and in the end. So the whole group, that would the first probably and only time. I mean, I don't want to say that, but that probably will be the only time. I mean, I was devastated. I will say the night before I flew to New York just for this. So a very quick trip. I was at dinner with my friend and I saw the Instagram come through and sent it into work. And then we both were like, we need another drink. I'm spiraling. I was so upset. And then I was like, there's a reason. And then once I saw the two video messages, I understood a bit more and was actually pretty happy because if he had come and he didn't look well, if he had come and that was the case, it would have been a bit more sad. It would have been that whole mood would have been, look at James. Let's talk about how he looks. How is he feeling? And that's not what the night was supposed to be about. I mean, of course it was for raising money for him and for his family, but
When I was looking at your Instagram, I saw that you had seen James back in June.
Yeah, only a few months ago. And
then we saw the video and he doesn't look well.
No, he does not look well. A lot of my friends that were at the event with me, I had dinner with before, were also there in June in Austin. I did a panel with Kevin Williamson reflecting on his career, the creator of Dawson's Creek, and James came and supported him and came onto the panel, and it was amazing. And he looked great, and we hung out backstage, and he was great. So it obviously was really shocking when you saw like the weight loss, and when you have cancer, I mean, your immune system is down. So 2 stomach bugs can get you really sick. So we all know how that is. But it was very, very emotional. I mean, I basically cried from beginning to end, but I think I would have either way, to be honest.
No, I mean, it's for longtime fans. Like when I saw the videos, because they told everybody to not have your phones during it, but then they allowed people when the curtain calls happen and singing of the song of I Don't Want to Wait by Paula Cole. When that happened at the end, it seemed like everybody was able to take their phones out at that point. Like that, what was the restrictions laid on that?
Yeah, Renee Goldsberry, who was the narrator of the night, she had said in the beginning, like no phones, and the people were so strict. They were coming out with their flashlights and flashing them if you had your phone out. The same way in a Broadway show. I mean, it was at the Hamilton Theater. It's the same way. Obviously, there were videos of the script reading that I've seen on TikTok, so some people were recording.
Okay, see, I didn't. I've seen some of those, and I'm like, wait, I thought you couldn't record during the show.
They were definitely hiding that because I mean, I put my phone away right away. I was like, I don't want to be distracted, and those tickets were very expensive. So I was like, I'm shocked. I don't want to waste the whole thing looking through my phone. Of course, I wanted some videos, but. And then at the end, once James came on the screen, people put their cameras up and no one said anything. And I think it was like, give people a minute. They want to do this. And then once Renee came out at the end and said, I told you I'll let you have your phones up, pick your phones up now. This is the time to do it. And she started singing and then brought out Mary Beth Peel to start singing. And then everybody came out. So then they took like time with each group to stand up and take their bows and let people take photos of that, which was very nice because again, tickets were the cheapest ticket was $199. The most expensive, I think, was $2,000, $2,000 to $3,000.
Wow.
I mean, and there weren't press tickets. So we all paid, like all my friends that were reporters that went. I mean, it's for charity. So it's different,
Well, the other thing that was interesting, and again, you and I haven't talked about this, is, and maybe you can speak to it, Katie and Josh. So obviously they're filming a television show, or it's a show, right? It's a 3-episode show, or
is it a show? I think it's a movie. I think it's a 3-part, a sequel or a trilogy movies.
Are they all going to be released in a row, or is this something like it's going to be okay? But we all know that this is something. It was written by her, right?
Mm-hmm. And
she's directing it and writing it, and then they do this. There's no way that people like you and me and longtime fans aren't thinking, not that they're doing this for publicity, but we all know, as far as I know, Josh is single. As far as I know, Katie is single.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're getting back. They're going to start dating, right? Like, it's just, there's no way around this.
You're like, this is a fact. They are getting back together. Well, you know what's funny is it's funny because if it was James and Katie, this wouldn't ever even be a conversation. No one would even think that, even if he was single, because 1, the Dawson and Joey shippers just weren't it. Yeah. 2, they didn't date in real life. I think, they've both talked about it many times that like they were each other's first love. So it's like, yes, of course it's weird, right? That we're like, get back together. These 2 people that none of us know.
Well, I know it's not. No, I don't want. No, I'm not going to agree with that. It's not weird because they are 2 adults that dated when they were teenagers. Mm-hmm. Isn't their movie about a couple that gets back together who once dated in high school? Yes. Okay, wait a second. So she writes a movie about a couple that dated in high school that finds each other later in life. Mm-hmm. And then she specifically gets Josh to play this role. Like, it seems like she's manifesting this for this to happen.
She's like, I think I want to get back together with Josh, so I'm going to write a movie for him.
Exactly.
No, so I obviously don't have any idea what's going on. I know he's on Raya. I'll say that. But who isn't? It's fine.
Yeah.
But my thing is, are they enjoying this resurgence of, I mean, when those stills dropped of them out on the street, I mean, it was like immediately transported back. And I talked about this with the reunion too. It's a room of people who are adults, mostly adults, who are immediately like reflecting and resorted back to when we were 16, 17, 18, watching people fall in love as kids. And it's that feeling of nostalgia that everyone wants right now because everything is so dark that it's like, it's just a feel good thing. So I do think they're leaning into that because they know the fans want it. Do I think that like people had videos of them leaving together and sharing a car? Yeah. Well, yeah, everyone stayed at the same hotel. Why wouldn't they share a car? And so of course, but would I want it to happen? I mean, I would be in front row for that. Yes, of course I want it to happen. I just don't know if that's realistic. I also will say, like, it was very cute when they went to the backstage and then came back out. They walked out holding hands, and it was like,
yes, they did,
because this is what the fans want. That's because Joey and Pacey didn't happen in the pilot, so we didn't get much Joey Pacey interactions. We only got a little. We got Pacey with Miss Jacobs. No one wants to see that. So It was like, that was for the Joey and Pacey shippers. I strongly believe that they did that on purpose, and that's very sweet. I mean, fans.
I just find the whole thing weird that especially the plot of that movie and the fact that she directed it and wrote it, it just seems like, and you know that they know that everybody wants it to happen. And it almost seems like it would be a giant disappointment if this movie came out and they're starting to do press for it. And they say, yeah, no, we're just, because they're going to get asked it once they have to start doing press for this movie. And they just sit there and then they're going to sit there. Then they're just going to sit there and say, oh, no, we're just friends. Like, I don't know. I think people will be pissed off if they say that. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like back in the day, they basically told people not to say no. Like if you're dating, like just play coy or like don't say yes or no. Maybe they'll do that. But I also think they're both at different, like they don't care. They're both at different stages of their life. I feel like they're going to be like, no, we're friends. We've known each other our whole lives. That's the line is going to be like, it's more than a friendship because we've been friends our whole lives.
Does Josh he had a kid with his ex-wife, didn't he?
Yes. So And if you look up the photos of them leaving, he was carrying her walking out of the theater.
And he's got a daughter.
Just a daughter. Yep.
How old is she? How like
5 or 6.
Oh, she's okay. I thought she was
maybe a bit older because I was on a flight with him and his wife a couple of years ago when they were still together, and the daughter. So she was probably like 5 then. So she's probably like 8 or 9 now. Yeah.
Oh God, I thought she was like 3 or 4. Okay, gosh, I didn't realize she was that young, that old. Can I see your tattoo?
You can, yes. Like, see how I can do this.
Yeah. So well, I didn't see. Of all the times that I've had you on, is that recent or you've always had it?
No. So this was after I did the Kevin Williamson retrospective in June.
So you got it in the last 3 months.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to get a tattoo tonight because I got this one for Friends. It's very faint, but it's the dots in between the logo and Friends. And it's the spacing.
I can only see dots. I can't see the logo on Friends.
No, there is no logo. It's just the dots between. And these are yellow, so they're really light. And it's very, very subtle. But Friends and Dawson's Creek are my 2 favorite shows. So I was like, I'm going to get this eventually. So once I was in Austin and that happened, it was such like a career moment for me that I was like, I'm going to go get this now.
And the one on the left arm says "Ask you to stay," which is
ask me to stay, yeah,
or ask me to stay, not you.
Ask me to stay.
Wait,
yeah.
But the
wall said "Ask me to stay." That's what he painted.
The wall said "Ask me to stay." I don't know why I said "Ask you to stay." But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, wait, has Emily always had that? And I never knew this. She never brought this up, but you've gotten it in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very cool. I had no idea that you got the, and as we discussed, I don't know if you were interested, but the Cape Side house is now up for sale for $5 million in North Carolina. If you want to go buy that.
It's so funny that I'm getting so many texts about it. Like, should we go in on this? Like, prices in LA are really expensive. I'm never going to be able to buy here. Maybe I should just buy in Wilmington. I mean, it's a pretty beautiful town. And
the house, I mean, my gosh. I mean, can you imagine just the nostalgia of that house?
I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah, but it would have to be like a content creator house. You would purchase it with a bunch of people.
Exactly. The people who own it have never done like where they let people they don't let people on their property at all. Understandably, obviously, I'm sure it got to be really insane after the show, but I would be like, I'll be out there taking photos for you. Pay me. I'll just want to pose in front of the house all day.
Well, I mean, at $5 million, probably out of people's price range. People like us.
But in LA, you pay $1 million. Like you can't even buy a house for $1 million here.
Yeah. And that Cape Side house, super nice too.
Gorgeous.
Anyway, what are you working on? What's coming up that we can look for on Variety from you?
Love is Blind fans can tune in soon. Once you watch the first 6 episodes, I will be posting a story probably on this week with the showrunner who I talk to each week to break down those episodes, answer some burning questions. I feel like on the reality end, I mean, I'm still covering the challenge because why not? I love it still. And I'm actually, I just did a story about this new show coming to Peacock called Devil in Disguise. It is a true crime story about John Wayne Gacy. And it's one of my favorite things I've watched in a long time. So I think that's something to keep an eye because I'm going to be covering that a bit for Variety.
How many episodes is it? Or is it a movie?
It's 8 episodes and it's a binge. I think it comes out October 16th. So it's really, really great.
Devil in Disguise is the name of it?
Yep.
Gosh, we didn't even talk Love is Blind. And I feel like it might be too early just because it's only been out for a day by the time people listen to this.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people watched all 6 episodes. At the time of you and I recording this, I've only watched the first 5. So I got through all the proposals and just waiting. The 6th episode is all the couples going down to Mexico. And very interesting season so far. I'm sure now that stuff is out, I'm going to start seeing stuff on Twitter about, that guy had a girlfriend or she's got a boyfriend or something. I'm sure it's out there. I don't know what's out there yet. I haven't seen anything yet, but
yeah, I haven't looked today yet either, but I'm sure there will be. That's why luckily I get to see most of it ahead of time because I would be spoiled immediately for that if I wasn't.
I think the one thing I did see was who was the guy who was talking to the other guys in the men's quarters? I think it was Mike, who talked about how he's got a platonic friend that just comes over and hangs out with him in his hot tub. Was that Mike?
I think that was Mike. I'm bad at the names.
Yeah, it was Mike. And
they were all like, no.
Yeah. Well, apparently there's something along the lines of that girl, whoever that girl is that comes to his house and hangs out platonically in his hot tub with him. Apparently there's something there. That's the only thing I came across.
Weird thing to even say. Like, yeah, she comes over and hangs out. Like, I've done that with friends, sure, but like, I don't talk about it. Like, I hung out with my friend and we sat in a hot tub platonically. What?
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. So that was the only thing that I saw when scrolling through my For You page on Twitter. Something came up in regards to that, and I was like, oh boy. But well, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. But he's very integral to the first 6 episodes, that's for sure. But I don't want to. I've got my thoughts on this season. I'll probably hold on to them for a little bit because I want to give people a little more time.
Okay.
Maybe I will do, maybe I'll do a live or something, or I don't know. I'm still deciding if I want to do a live. I was going to say sing along for Taylor's release on Friday, but not a sing along. What do they call it? A live reveal party on YouTube?
I don't even know what do people do that? I don't know.
I think so. But then I was like, wait a second. If I do a live review, because I think her album drops at midnight, Thursday night into Friday morning, which would be 11 o'clock my time, which is fine. The problem is if it's like, hey, come to my YouTube channel and listen to the show and listen to the album with me. I'm just gonna be like, well, I don't want to talk over the songs. So we're just going to sit there and my YouTube video will just be me doing this for 3 minutes every song. And I guess we could just, I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm like, well, how do you do a live reveal? I think everybody, it's almost like let everybody listen to the songs and then
do it later and do a discussion.
Yeah. A live discussion on the life of a showgirl. But
I mean, insane. I'm very excited. I will be on a flight on Friday. I'm taking a little vacation. And so it's the perfect time because it's a long flight and I'll just listen to it over and over again.
Oh, I know. I mean, this is going to be, and I heard it's like the second shortest album she's ever put out. And according to Travis, a bunch of bangers on this. Very poppy.
He has to say that.
Yeah. It's very poppy. It's very 1989-ish, which I'm all a fan of because we can be honest. The last 2 albums were they had good songs, but they all kind of sounded the same and they were on the more dreary, slower side. And apparently this is a deviation from that, which is,
I'm excited for some upbeat,
Yeah.
I'm excited for Happy Taylor.
Yeah. And we just need it. Like you said, these are just times that we're living in where just everything is so negative and down and crappy that's right. Yeah. We need some poppy Taylor songs in our life and we're getting them on Friday, 12 o'clock midnight Eastern time. I can't wait. Anyway, Emily, enjoy your vacation coming up. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. Obviously, we will be in touch.
Always. I'll talk to you soon.
See you at WrestleMania 42. All right. Bye.